Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about being a prisoner to your mortgage rate. So essentially, there are people who bought their properties at 2, 3, 4%, 5% even. And now with interest rates being at 6.5%, 7%, and money being basically less affordable than ever before, is now more expensive to borrow money. People are becoming prisoners to their home. Instead of upgrading, instead of going and buying something of similar value, you are now forced to hold on to your home and uh, and make more equity within that home rather than sell and not have as much equity going into your next deal or going into a bigger purchase. And then, of course, the home that you may want may now be out of reach due to the high cost of ownership and the interest rates that are associated with it. No one wants to go from a 3% rate to a 6.5% rate. Essentially, your interest rate has more than doubled, and that is going to lead to a higher payment for you for a more expensive home that you simply may not be able to afford, even with the equity in your current home. And this is why people are now a prisoner to their mortgage rate. You're not a prisoner to the home itself because you may want to leave that home. You may want to transition. You may want to change paces. But because of the payment, because of the cost associated with your lifestyle, associated with living, you may stay in that home because of the interest rate that is afforded to you at this current time, right? And we all understand that the interest rates that we have been given were historically low, and that may not be seen for a long, long time, if not ever, in our lifetime. Because of this, we now have the decision to ride this interest rate and become richer and more wealthier, or give it up in order to have the lifestyle that we so desire. But also there is an expense that comes with that. So a lot of people are saying that they are prisoner to their rate because they are now trapped within their home, unable to sell, unable to move, because if they do that, they are financially hurting themselves in the literal sense, right? You are financially taking on more payments, and then on top of that, the interest rate is higher. So now you're almost doubling that payment, right? We all understand moving up in home is going to increase the payment that we pay, but now moving up in home also comes with a higher interest rate, and that is going to drastically affect what you're able to purchase. And somebody who bought a $400,000 home and has 30% equity within that home and is looking to move into a $500,000 home, it may not be as advantageous anymore because the price of moving up 100,000 is no longer a valuable option in terms of that monthly payment, even with the extra 30% that you're willing to put down towards that home. So are people prisoners to their rate? Yes and no. If you are someone who bought a home of high value compared to your earning potential and you bought it at a low rate, you may be maxed out in terms of what you are able to afford. And because of that, you moving up in home is not a possibility because you're, again, maxed out for your interest rate. You have bought the best home that you could possibly have bought for your rate. Now, if you are, let's say, only using 30% of your buying power and you have a lot of equity and you're willing to upgrade $50,000 to $100,000 more, you may be able to go up to 40% of your buying power. However, it won't be much of a difference in the quality of home. Maybe you'll be able to change the area, but in terms of the cost of what the home is worth, you may be going from 400 to 430 or 450,000, but certainly not 550 or 600,000, especially with the interest rate environment that we're in. So, some people will see this as a good thing, as in, yes, I don't want to leave, I don't want to sell, I don't want to do anything because these interest rates are historically low. And some people may see it as a negative, as though I've been in my home for 10 plus years, I'm unable to move, I'm unable to travel, I'm unable to relocate for this job. And, you know, the prices of home may not be something that can be rented out at this current market and at its current value. And so that really pigeonholes someone to have to stay within that environment and have to live within that environment. And so they are not only trapped, but simply a prisoner to that rate, because again, a lot of the time that you spend is going to be in your home. You're going to be sleeping 6, 5, 8 hours a day, depending on how much you sleep, right? How much you work. And then when you cook or when you clean and when you have friends over and family, you're going to spend a lot of time in your home. So a home can be a blessing and it can also be a curse. And in some ways, you know, you can become a prisoner to a rate that prevents you from moving and going about life. Now, again, you can spend it any way you want. For me, I see it as my situation, a good thing that I got the rate that I got, and I am willing to keep and hold on to it. However, for another person who may be interested in moving, it can be a negative and something that is unwarranted and unwanted, but something that you must deal with because you understand the financial implications, and you also understand that, honestly, this is the smart play, it's the smart move to make by keeping and holding on to the home. So, with that being said, are people prisoners to their rate? Yes, some, if not most people are. In fact, even if you don't want to sell, you have in the back of your head that it is really ridiculous to sell at this time. And so what that does is it leaves you pigeonholed to holding on to something that you may not actually want to hold on to. And if you had the option of selling it, you probably would. And so I just wanted to give a little bit of context. Does that change a lot of people's situations? No. But it also helps you to understand if you are someone looking to buy, if you're someone looking to buy someone's property, you can maybe help them to get out of that by incentivizing them to leave the current situation that they're in that they may not want to be in, right? And that's the conversation, that's the communication that you want to have with them in order to facilitate that transaction. Now, if you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.